Hey, babe.
Hey,
What you doing?
just playing Pac-Man. Ugh, this is too small. It's so hard to play on.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry, babe. Alright, here it is, guys, the Pac-Man 40th Anniversary Edition cabinet. So when you boot up the cabinet, you're going to get the game selection screen. And on this game selection screen, you're going to have 7 games to choose from. It's Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Mania, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Land, and Galaga. Now, we're going to go into Pac-Man real quick. The menu system is super easy. You just press A, which is actually the red button on this cabinet. When you do that, you get the game control menu, so this shows you all the options on this particular game. They're going to be different for each game. Now, one thing to notice is something new here. It says press and hold the player 1 button for 5 seconds to return to the main menu and to save a high score. So when you're playing the game, you need to press and hold the player 1 button to make sure that your high score is saved. So if you die and then you want to save that high score, make sure you exit the game and you don't shut the cabinet off. So to start the game, you just press player 1 or player 2 if you have 2 players. Now, something I noticed right away, the second I started playing, is the volume is a lot higher than it used to be. Now, they've installed these new slider bars on these particular games, so you can adjust the volume, but it's only on 1 and it's really loud. So I'm gonna say that you're probably not gonna wanna put this any higher than 1. And, you know, I already talked to Arcade1Up about this, so I don't know if this is something that I at least alerted them to it, so they're aware that the volume seems to be higher than normal. At least it does for me. I don't remember it being this loud. Now, I'm gonna die really quick here so you guys can see how my high score will be maintained. So right now we're at 1950, right? I'm gonna die again. Okay, now that it's game over, my final score was 2,110. Now, if I were to shut off the cabinet, it won't maintain that high score. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press and hold player 1. Just give it like 5 seconds and it should go back to the main menu. All right, it's going back to the main menu. Now, to make sure that I validated that it maintains that high score, I'm gonna go back into the game and I should actually be the high score that's listed. Yep, 2,110. So it will not maintain that if I don't exit the game that way. If I actually shut the game off, you're out of luck there.
All right, what about the joystick? So the joystick they decided to use looks very similar to a Sanwa JLF. It feels pretty good. I'd call this a pretty high quality clone of a Sanwa JLF, and I'll show you the Sanwa JLF for comparison. Now, the difference between the Arcade1Up one and the Sanwa one, it actually has a different restrictor gate, slightly different micro switches, but I will say the one on the Arcade1Up feels pretty good. So this isn't something I think you'd have to switch out initially, but maybe over time if you wanted to, but the one they provided is pretty good. So another nice touch is actually this strip of T-molding they put on the control panel. We've seen this before in Arcade1Up cabinets, but I appreciate this kind of level of detail. Now, wishful thinking for me would be, it'd be really cool if they put T-molding on the whole cabinet, but I get it, but maybe one day. All right, the other thing I love is the overall look of this cabinet. It's definitely a throwback to the Pac-Man Cabaret. I love the shape. I love that the marquee is inset. The only beef I have here is I wish they would have flowed the wood grain all the way down the side of the cabinet. So you get down to the riser and then it's black. Although I love that 40th anniversary thing, it'd be really cool if the wood went all the way down. Tyler Goodman, you know what to do. All right, so what about the game? So there's a great variety of games on this cabinet and they play really well. So I didn't find any emulation issues. The sound sounded great. The controls are actually really good. And you know, the variety of games really helps with the long-term value of the cabinet for replay. The other thing that's really cool is they added Galaga to it. So now you have two distinct Arcade1Up cabinets that have consolidated into one. So I think that's really cool from a space savings perspective. Also, if you're a fan of Pac-Man and Galaga, you kind of have one cabinet together. It sort of reminds me of the 20th anniversary, Miss Pac-Man Galaga cabinet. All right, guys, it's final thoughts time. So what do I think about this Pac-Man Arcade1Up 40th edition cabinet? I think it's pretty damn cool. Style-wise, it's a 10 out of 10. Now, I did have the issue with the audio. I did alert Arcade1Up. That is a problem. At 1, it's not like blow it out your eardrums loud, but it is definitely a lot louder than it should be at 1, so it's definitely an issue, and they're aware of it. So hopefully we'll see some sort of response for them on that one pretty soon. It does have 2 stereo speakers, although they're not stereo because these games were mono games, but it does have 2 speakers, so that's pretty cool. The light up marquee is really nice. The T-molding on the on the edge is neat on the control panel, and I do love that it saves high scores. If I wasn't clear about this in the video, if you exit the game the proper way, it does save your high score, and then if you shut off the cabinet and turn it back on, your high score will be there. It's just that if you're playing a game in the middle of it, or you finish a game and you just shut it off, it won't save the high score. So I just want to make sure that was clear. I mean, outside of that, I think it's pretty cool. It has a good game variety. The controls are nice. They used, upgraded controls, so they're better quality Sanwa clones and Sanwa button clones, which is really great. So I think, over time, if you wanted, you could upgrade those really easily. You could go to a place like DIY Retro Arcade. They have kits you could plug right in. But, for this kind of stuff, it actually worked pretty well. So thumbs up to that. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Please let me know in the comments below. Is this a cabinet you're interested in? Are you excited about the 40th anniversary? Are you excited about having Galaga and Pac-Man come together as one? I don't know, but you got to tell me. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, hit the bell and turn notifications on so you can be informed of future videos like this one. That's it for now, guys. We will see you on the next one.